Hi there, it's Sarah from Inspired Tarot. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing okay today. I'm using the Modern Witch Tarot, which I've probably explained before, is based on the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's a little bit more modern and a little bit more relatable, but it still gives us the symbolism from the original cards, which definitely gives us more information and makes it quite easy to understand. So the Knight of Swords is usually very swift moving and brave and dynamic, as we can see. The Swords cards are all about the mind. And if we're brave on our spiritual journey, then we can kind of dive head first into anything that comes up in the mind. We know that the court cards talk about mastery. So the Knights, there's the Page, the Knight, the Queen and the King. And the Queen and King show the highest level of mastery of the mind. So the Knight of Swords is kind of challenging forward, striving forwards for mastery of the mind, and understands that needs to understand the shadow, which comes in from the Devil card. The shadow is very much the ego. It's all the parts of ourselves that we've repressed and that we hide. It could be filled with good things, what's called the bright shadow, things about ourselves that are actually potentially positive, but maybe they freaked our parents out. I think this is one thing that I notice a lot, is that we're actually so afraid of love that the more sometimes it can seem as though when we do something loving that we're going in the wrong direction, and it can freak people out. Yeah, and we get so confused about what's love and what's not love. And we know that Jesus was extremely radical with what he was talking about was love. And it really did freak people out because it's just so different to following the ego. The ego is all about shrinking back and hiding, whereas the spirit is all about opening up, facing the darkness, and being honest. So yeah, when we're in the devil, when we've got the Devil card and we're kind of looking at all our addictions, our attraction to materialism and our obsessions and things, our focus on lack, our addiction to pain, then we really do need to kind of delve into the shadows and see all the darkness and all the just erroneous things that we believe, and all the ways that the shadow tricks us into believing that the darkness is actually in the world when really it's just in the mind. And the Nine of Swords really depicts, I like to think of this card as like the tortured soul. So it's somebody who's very much yeah, they're just having sleepless nights. They're so traumatized that they can't tell the difference between night dreams and daydreams. Usually very, very stuck in anxiety. And this is what leads us to do the inner work, when we kind of feel like we're hitting rock bottom and we're going insane, and we've got no choice but to face ourselves because it's just too painful to stay in this dark place. When we think negative things, they become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and we must face our repressed emotions, because our thoughts create. And if we get stuck looping in hypotheticals, then we can create all manner of horrific things in our dream. So we really do need to seek the Spirit's advice. To get a different perspective on everything, so we can see that we're just tormenting ourselves, really. So the Nine of Wands is just about resilience and endurance, and we need a bucket load of this on the spiritual path. We really do need to be determined to go through the expansion, to open up. We have to face the resistance, and we have to face that we're going to be in solitude sometimes, but we just keep going, because there's not really anything else we can do other than keep facing the darkness and know it gets better. The World. So the World card is all about satisfaction and wholeness. knowing that we've completed something. And we do go through cycles in our spiritual journey. It's very much, we're spiraling up all the time. So we could be celebrating the fact that our default mood has shifted enormously, and celebrating with our friends every time we overcome some nonsense in the mind. So we know that the knights are the movers and shakers, can be trailblazers and leaders. They're usually quite flighty, and I think this is a good skill, because when you follow the spirit, you could be taken anywhere and everywhere. You never really know what's coming next, and this knight can really handle that well. It kind of trusts and very much is following its gut, following its instincts. So I do think of this card as a bit of an adventurer, and you do have to be an adventurer as you go through the spiritual journey, because you never know what you're going to get, and you have to be happy to just accept that the spirit is going to take us in a direction that we don't necessarily understand. I know I'm guided to do things and I don't really understand why, but then when I come out the other side, I seem to have healed. So the spirit kind of understands our distortions, and what will just help us heal in a way that really doesn't make sense to the confused mind, the split mind. On our path. So whenever we've been going through something exciting, as depicted by the Knight of Wands, and we've been having an adventure, quite often what will happen is something intense will kind of throw us off our horse, and then we'll need to take some time out to integrate. I'm quite a hermit anyway, so I love this card. It's very much about introspection and self-discovery and inner guidance. And that we hit a turning point when we go within. We really just need to rest and integrate. The journey's not all about the adventures and things that the ego will value and think are exciting. You know, that we're going on a trip and we've had miracles where we've manifested amazing things, and all that stuff is good, but we do have to process our feelings as well, and sometimes just sit in solitude and rebalance, because as our self-concept shifts, it can feel really destabilizing. It's very bizarre to think that our human self is literally held together by concepts and thoughts, and as we substantially shift our concept of ourself, we feel as if we're not put together right, because essentially we are, from our bodily perspective, we're falling apart and we're being reconfigured. Bit by bit, we're being undone until we're less identified with the body and more identified with the spirit, with the trust, and the heart and the mind and the love. But it's a gradual process. It goes from feeling very solid and concrete. We can feel very stuck in the material realm, and then at times we can feel like we're floating and we're not attached to it at all. And as we heal, we kind of move more towards that stance, and it is a wonderful feeling. And that kind of brings us to the sun. So the sun card is all about feeling abundant, which we do when we're connected to our spirit self. We have so much energy and we feel very positive, we feel very creative, we feel very expansive and comfortable being with other people, very confident. And that really transmits to other people. Other people want to be around us. I think one of the things it says in the course is be a living demonstration. And the happier we are, if we go, I know I found this earlier in my journey, if I go around telling people about A Course in Miracles, they just look at you as if you're cuckoo. Whereas if people can see that you're experiencing miracles and you're really happy and your life seems to be shifting in a wonderful direction, then people are more inclined to get on board with that. That's something that they can relate to, something that doesn't seem quite as scary. It's almost like the proof is in the pudding, and people want to find out more and more. So yeah, I think the sun is a lovely card. It's supposed to be one of the happiest cards in the deck, which is a cute thing to think of. So I was thinking I might do one or a few little cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle. This is a new deck. I like Oracle cards, and these are mini ones. I like the mini ones. We'll get 3 out and see what the message is. See what the messages are, should I say. This one wants to come out. Whoa! Out the jump. So go the distance, higher power and loyal heart. So I do need to look these up in the book. 47. So go the distance. Essential meaning is endurance, strength in the long haul, which is a perfect card really for what I've been talking about, because the spiritual journey is a lifelong endeavour, and even though it can feel like on the timeline we are taking forever to wake up, we can actually be awake or asleep in any given moment. We just impose the timeline onto it, but yeah, we do have to really give our all to the path. As the cheetah, I think it's a cheetah, is going for the finish line. No messing. So the message is, to bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. Higher power, number 4. The essential meaning is conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. I love seeing source energy in all things. I love looking at people, at every person and every situation, and just thinking we are one, and that they're like a brother and sister. Everyone is like a brother and sister. You can almost see people like best friends, because they could be a best friend quite easily. People are always opportunities to have fun with, to connect with, to have a holy instant with. And I really just love going through the world thinking, you know, what fun can I have with this person? How can I work at being on the same page as them, and lifting them up into their divine self. You know, we can find common themes and common denominators with everybody, and I just think this is really sweet. So the higher power says, this card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time you need to be conscious of your connection to spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation. Ask, what is the highest good for all? How can I serve? Then get out of your own way and trust that there is a plan for your life, more wondrous than you can ever know. You are always protected and divinely directed. So yeah, with if we go into the world not judging and forgiving everyone and everything, then we're returning everyone and everything to its innocent state. And it's just unbelievable how when we do this, we feel so much safer, we feel happier, and we're open to have miracles with anyone and everybody. It's almost like when we go out into the world, it can feel a bit like a treasure hunt, because we never know who we're going to meet or who we're going to have fun with. Or sometimes we know who we're going to meet, but yeah, it's all just fun and exciting when we look at this way and we just see everything as unfolding in our favour. It's really sweet and miraculous. Okay, 35. Loyal heart. The essential meaning is fidelity, joy, and devotion. The oracle's message: evidence of loyalty will appear in your life. Others will prove they are faithful to you, and you will in turn commit fully to them. There is a sure and abiding certainty in your heart. Know that Spirit is always loyal to you. No matter the outer circumstances in your life, trust and have faith, for you are eternally loved, always divinely protected, and divinely directed. Yeah, I really love to think that Spirit is loyal to everybody, because Spirit knows that we're all love and that we're all being guided back to love. The divine has a way of correcting our perception and leading us all in the same direction, albeit it may seem like we have different experiences in form. But yeah, when we have a loyalty to our spiritual path, then the Spirit will bring people into our lives that can help us and that can love us, and that can be trusted, and it's a beautiful journey. Right, that's my reading then for today. I love you all. Take care, bye.